Hey guys, so we just finished up the webinar with RC reports on reasonable comp and IRS enforcement in this area, and I mentioned to everyone I was going to tell the story of Bob. Now it's an actual client story. Bob was a CPA in Connecticut, had about 20 S corps that were not taking reasonable comp. Either they were taking no comp at all or very little. And every year, Bob, after telling his clients they needed to do this, would send them a letter saying, look, you're required to do this. The IRS could come in and create a salary if you don't take a reasonable salary. One of the S Corps got audited, and the auditor found that letter. They then expanded it to all of his S Corps, and what they ended up doing is charging Bob under 6694A and B prepare penalties. A is negligence, B is reckless disregard. The IRS argued that by sending that letter, Bob knew that the returns were not accurate. All told, that's $6,000 in fines each, 20 S corps. It was a $120,000 prepare penalty case. When you fight a prepare penalty case, you have to pay 15% and seek a refund. Bob pays the $18,000, files for the refund. We take the refund action. Department of Justice ultimately agreed that, look, if Bob will walk away from the $18,000, they'll give up the rest. At that point, I thought we would win at trial, but Bob at that point didn't want to spend any more money in legal fees. He'd already spent $10,000 in legal fees on us, and just walked away from it. That's $28,000 between the 15% he paid plus the legal fees. The point here is this: I know that you're like, well, my client doesn't want to do it. If it were up to me, I would fire the client. This is part of the deal with being an S corp and getting in on those savings. Is you need to take reasonable comp. All right. It's why I'm such a big fan of RC reports. That report has never been successfully challenged by the IRS. And so it's kind of to me, it would be a minimum requirement if you're going to keep the client and keep doing their S Corp return, all right, as well as C Corps and 990s. All right, on a 990 return, you're checking a box that says the client has backup for how they set compensation for the directors. Does your client have that actual written backup? So I think this is, now that this is such a hot button topic with the IRS, this is really the time to get on top of this, and no better time than the present before you start in on the 2024 returns and we can set those salaries for 2025. All right?